Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Eli back with another video, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about this Luka AD trade. And I'm not gonna shit on Nico. I'm not, like everyone else. Everyone else is talking about Nico as if he is the stupidest person on planet Earth. But then they forgot that Nico has been on this team for a while, and every single move that he's made has brought the team closer to a championship. So, I'm not going to shit on Nico. And here's why. We're looking at this in the scope of Luka is a generational talent. You don't trade him. He could be a top 10 player all time. You don't trade him. Right? But we're not looking at it in the scope of a GM. Now, a GM normally wouldn't make that move. That's true. But let's think about it like this. Luka is seen as a top 5 player right now because he is a top 5 offensive player right now. Right? He's a top 5 offensive player. He's so good offensively that we thrust him into the top 5. Now, I'm not saying he's not a top 5 player. Don't get me wrong. He is. But he's there because of offense and offense alone. Now, him and Jokic have that in common. Jokic is not much of a defender. He's really good offensively, and he's really good at passing the ball, and that's why he's in the top 5. But Shea and Tatum and Giannis, they all do both. They're in the top 5 because they do both. You know what I'm saying? And Jokic is the best player in the world. So Luka is the only one there that has a major weakness. And his major weakness is he is really bad defensively. I think people are underestimating how bad defensively he is. He'll just stand there and let people just go by him. So when you look at it in a GM perspective, if you build a team around Luka who has a major flaw in his game, which is defense, right? That means when you go into the playoffs, teams have something they can exploit. And when you have something you can exploit, you have a ceiling. Let's look at James Harden. Phenomenal offensive talent. Was breaking records. People were saying he was a better offense than Jordan was. Remember that? He was setting records. Never won a ring. Why? Ceiling. We were saying how that offense, isocentric, does not work. Trae Young, phenomenal offensive talent. Huge deficiency on defense, just like James Harden had. Luka's the same exact way. He is a phenomenal offensive talent, but you need to build your entire team around him to protect him on defense. You have to limit your players to just shooters or defenders, while Luka does everything. We've seen that. It doesn't work. Now, they got to the finals last year, right? Because we got Gafford and Kyrie and all these other things that to kind of help, shooters, defenders, right? But they were never going to beat the Celtics. I don't think anyone thought they were going to beat the Celtics because they have a weakness. They rely on Luka. They rely on a player that is their biggest weakness, their biggest strength and biggest weakness. He's a horrible defender. So if you look at it from that angle, and then you add the fact that he was getting worse with his injury history, he was increasing weight, he was getting in worse shape, and this is the worst season we've probably seen him in his career. Nico's like, I don't want to build around this guy. I've seen this, and it's a gamble, and I'm gonna get shots. But I want to build a better team with no weaknesses. I don't want to have a team with weaknesses. I don't want to have a Trae Young. I don't want to have a Harden. I want to have a team that is built strong and durable, which is why he initially tried to trade for Giannis, which made more sense to me. But they weren't willing to trade Giannis for Luka. So then he got the next best thing, AD. Now, if you think about it from a GM standpoint, it's easier to build around AD So it's not the fact that it's like AD's nowhere near the caliber player that Luka is. That's not the point. The point is that he feels he can build a championship team around Anthony Davis, around Kyrie. They can put the pieces around those two that'll have a better chance of beating a Celtics, a Cavaliers, a Thunder, than Luka and just having shooters around Luka. He feels that they have a better chance doing it this way. So it's not about what it looks like right now. It's about building. And honestly, guys, I'm not going to lie. Mark my words. I think the Mavericks are going to be good for a while. I think that what Nico's doing makes sense. It actually does make sense. He's building, now maybe he might take a hit at first, but he's building a more secure team. Not a team that's reliant on one player and the weakness of one player. He's building a team. So he's like, all right, I'm going to take this risk. But remember, guys, every single move this guy did has gotten them closer to a championship. So let's remember, let's not shit. Now, I'm not saying, hey, that's what I would do as a GM. I'm just saying that people are looking at this lopsided, like the Lakers just pulled a heist and Nico's just an idiot. I think that they both had their own reasons to do it. The Lakers needed Luka for the next 10 years. They were running out of what they were going to do after LeBron. Now they know what they're going to do after LeBron. So it makes perfect sense for the Lakers. But it also makes sense for the Mavericks. If you stop putting yourself in a fan perspective or a do Luka right perspective, it does make some level of sense. So if you agree with me or you have different opinions, let me know in the comments. But until the next one, peace.